Hello, everyone. Welcome to Elevated Volume 2. Let's wait a little bit until everyone is here. I think it's all working. Good. Yes. Cool. Okay. And welcome, everyone. Welcome who just joined. Yeah, I'd say, should we get started, Laurence?
Yeah, sounds good.
Cool. Okay. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the second edition of Elevated today. Elevated is our compact online trend forecasting event together with Laurence. I'm sitting here with Laurence, our trend expert here at Profoto. Quickly about the session, you can post your questions here in the chat. We will get to them after the session is over, like in our live Q&A afterwards. So please feel free to do that. Also, we'd love to hear your feedback and find out how we can make Elevated even better. So I think somewhere here or there is the little feedback QR code. So please feel free to give us some feedback. After the session is over, you will get, of course, a recording, and we will also share that questionnaire with you again. Okay, with that, Laurence, would you like to introduce yourself to those who weren't here for the first edition?
Yes, of course. Hi, everyone. My name is Laurence. I've worked with a trend forecaster during my studies and also after that. And I've always had a passion for doing research and sharing my findings. And besides that, I'm also now in charge of all the styling concepts for all major Profoto e-commerce events, where I combine storytelling, set design, and style the model. So I would like to also share what you could use in the future for your photography. So yes, cool. I think we can start.
Okay, yeah. Then let's dive right in. Okay.
Let me bring this up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
There we go. Cool.
All right. Lovely. Okay. So welcome back, everyone. The second edition of Elevated. So let's go to what we're going to talk about today. So in these times, we're really dealing with a lot of pressure, still inflation, the war that's going on, and the work overload for a lot of people. Not everyone, but a lot of people are dealing with depressions and burnouts. And therefore, we see a big growth in the need for mental health and self-care. And there are also design industry that taps into that. So we're going to start with solar therapy, then we'll move to futures fungi, and then AI and our fantasy. So a really great artist called Marianne van Aubel is integrating solar energy into the daily environment. So she brings design to windows and tables that become autonomous and harvest their own energy. So if you look here on the right, it's a project called Ra. Ra is the ancient Egyptian sun god, and the product, the concept is designed to have Ra turn from solar energy into a form of art. So if you look at how it's presented, it's really beautiful. You hang this in your window, so during the day it's collecting energy, and at night you will have the circular circle that's going to give light. And to already give a lovely example for like a light-inspired product photography, this is from Urada Studio, and you see light gradients, some sort of a bug eye perspective, and layering of light and shapes. And one of the most beautiful projects from Marianne van Abel as well is Sanna. This is a light that you can hang in your window, and the whole day it's going to be collecting energy from the sun. And then at dusk, it automatically turns on. And it's got 4 different settings. So this is daylight, sunset, and sunrise. And I think it's such a beautiful way of making solar energy more beautiful and more designed. She also figured out that 1 hour of solar sunshine is enough to generate all the energy for one person in a year.
Oh,
So
wow.
why not use something with that?
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, also great for store design in the end, right? Or maybe for set design, having that there for your shoots or in your in retail store actually.
Exactly. So that's where I'm going to take you next. This concept from Moose Knuckles is this is like a new showroom in Milan. It's a Montreal-based Canadian luxury outerwear and ready-to-wear label, and this project is called Neo Nature. So it's a blend of the vast and barren landscape of the Canadian Arctic tundra and the metropolitan technological streetwear world. A lot of words.
Yeah.
Very beautiful, I think. And it actually also has some movement in it. So as you can see here, you have the different light shapes again that come back into the store. And then looking at how you can incorporate design into your uh, uh, brand as well. So this is the largest design consultancy called Pentagram, and they made a beautiful artworks for Love Supreme projects. And Love Supreme projects is actually a yoga studio in London, and they really wanted to put a new spin onto the familiar practice, because usually if you think about yoga, it's very neutral, it's very calm, and this is really opening up the senses and colors.
I love those. Super nice.
Yeah, and if you look at it now, here's like inside their studio where they have these prints as well. So it's really, yeah, thinking about a different way of, yeah, making a branding for your brand.
Yeah, and also bringing some life maybe in like a boring space, right? Or in like something that's maybe a bit more gray and have like a different approach to yeah, to maybe window dressing, for example. Really.
Exactly. Yeah. And then it's also seen into design with all the gradients and the lights. So these are really lovely sculptures by Angelo Olosho. I'm hoping I'm saying this right. And then I also wanted to showcase it for our own projects. So we were at Euroshop, and there we also used this concept of solar energy, solar therapy. So we use different color gels to light up the background, where you get this really lovely gradient, and you get the feeling like as if it's like a sunset or even a sunrise. And you can also put it a bit more lightly, so you have only a very like light gradient going on in the background. And another example of maybe a sunrise, you can use very more like harder saturated colors, but you can also make it a bit lighter, and just for that more elevated editorial look that you can add to your e-commerce. And to look at another lovely example of this with the gradients is also from Jorda Studio for this, foundations, and also here nail polish. So you can really play around with color gradients and even put in some of the blue and of the green and yellow to get a nice contrast.
Mhm.
And if you want to maybe tone it down a bit and make it a bit more approachable, you can also think about just using a different color background. So here again, we're getting this daylight going to sunset colors for the lookbook. And then there's an artist that's been working with for his whole career already. He's inspired by light, water, and air. It's Olafur Eliasson, and this is one of his projects where you're walking into this room with a very big light beam, and it's just changing color every time. And this was the weather project, which was, I think, was in London, and everybody was able to even just lay on the floor and just experience the immersiveness of the sun. And he now has a collaboration together with IKEA called Little Sun. So he thought that light should be available for everyone. And there are so many places in the world where light is not available for everyone. So by creating this little light, it actually just charges by the sun the whole day. And yeah, most of the places you've got enough sunshine, so you can harvest that the whole day. And then at night, you will have some light around you. And I think it's this really beautiful photography and the way that it's designed, as you can see here. And it's also got this very tranquil, very soft feeling to it. And also storytelling again, with this man that's been on the boat all day fishing, and then at night will still have a light to find his way home.
IKEA.
Yeah. And then I also found this studio in Milan. It's called Monstrum Studio. And it's quite a conceptual studio. And it's for interior design. So it's all these different designed interior pieces that they sell, but really also again sunset inspired. If you see here in their Instagram page, you really get this sense of like sunset. And then another lovely example of combining the solar and the sun and everything. You have Fear of God. It's a clothing brand that made a really beautiful video of their newest collection.
Slip away. How close am I to losing you? Hey, are you awake? Yeah, I'm right here.
So soothing, really
Yeah,
nice.
right. So really, that's like what I'm saying. It's like like almost therapeutical,
Yeah.
really, with all these like landscapes in between, and really focusing on the product as well, of course. And it's the first time that they actually did a runway show in LA, I think it was, and you can see this very like spacey like runway, but the circle at the top, that was like clouds, and in the beginning it was all dark and cloudy, and then as long as like the runway went through, the sky became brighter and more blue.
Mhm.
And here you can see a little bit of that transition.
Very cool.
Yeah, cool clothing, cool stuff. Okay, so then I'm going to talk about more about the futures fungi. So there's this book by Thames and Hudson, or Michael Lim and Yun Shu, about how fungi can feed us, heal us, free us, and save our world. So it's really about using fungi to get better like resources and better ways of living with nature. It can also be a little bit more on the trippy side. So there is a fungi academy in America, which is about fungi cultivation. So fungi is inspiration to cultivate a symbiotic relationship between ourselves and our community and our planet's ecosystem. So not everyone at the moment is connected to nature. Most of us are not connected to our true inner being, and they believe that mushrooms allow us to rekindle this connection to ourselves, our community, and all life. And then there's this amazing project from Jessie Adler, and she's taking actually colors, pigments from fungi for the beauty industry. So right now, if we want to have very intense colors, they're usually synthetic colorants made from fossil fuels, which is of course very like bad for us, not just as humans but also for the planet. And she's trying to grow awareness that these issues are just really big, and we should just take colors from a natural source. So, as you can see here, some really beautiful, vibrant colors that you can get. And it's also used, of course, in the fashion industry, so not just in beauty. You could also have colors coming from a more natural source.
Yeah, natural dyes its own. Yeah.
Exactly. So you get a little bit of two sides, right, with fungi. So it's also becoming this like trippy story. We go back to the 70s. The journey within kind of makes me feel of the Beatles. And this is a collection from Chuffy, so it's the resort collection, and they presented this in such a creative and very like dreamy, trippy way. So here you see it, all these mushrooms and octopus tentacles coming out, but really like prints that are coming back into their designs as well. But how they then present this on their website, you see it like this, is they have the more crazy image in the middle, I would say, and then on the sides you've got the prints for the clothing and what you can actually like order. So presenting it this way, you can also just really elevate your e-commerce online.
Yeah, it's really like a mix of editorial and e-commerce, right? Or classic traditional e-commerce.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, because if you can imagine, if it would have been another image like the right or the left and the middle, then of course it would still be nice, but this is really making it more of a complete story.
Yeah, exactly.
So if we then also look at product photography in this theme, you can take it really like creative, like on the left, where you're working with different layers and making it a bit more trippy, I would say, in a sense. Or you could take it more toned down, which you can see on the right. But it could just be the mushrooms you get from the store, but really like the colors that make sense together. And then I've been bombarded on Instagram, maybe I'm the target group, I'm not sure, but by Herbar, which is a brand that sells facial oil where you can do face yoga with. Also, like sort of like pearls that you can eat, because then you feel better, or like it's like healing you from within. So this brand believes that the superpowers of these mushrooms are going from inwards to outwards, and a philosophy deeply rooted in the fact that beauty can be healing. So here another example, but it's really fun because with these photos you can really play around with a lot of different things. So you can work with a different perspective, as you see here on the left, or just holding the bottle, or even adding crazy mushroom nails. Not sure if it's all real or if some of it is AI generated, but this one definitely is AI generated, as I'm sure. But these are this is like the box where the mushroom pills get
Wow.
put in.
That's next level. Cool.
Yeah. So we're really thinking about alternative materials. It's already happening a lot. I think not enough yet. But one project that I came across was from Biom, and it's called Obscure. So it's that we should think about more about biomanufacturing materials, and having 100% natural materials that are biodegradable, but then still look beautiful. So it doesn't need to be, this not a nicely or aesthetic product. It can also be really, really beautiful. So what they use is these orange peels, and actually the, how do you say that, the waste material of coffee beans, and then they make these beautiful lamps that really have this beautiful shape, and these are actually so all biodegradable. This is the coffee waste. And then also the way that they present their products, so really making it very like poetic in a way.
Oh, beautiful.
And then I'd like to take you to the Acne Studios Autumn Winter collection. So they are really more inspired by nature, and it's going more into of like a fantasy nature, where they combine like fabrics, glitter, and crochet. So if you look like a bit closer to this runway, actually everything that's like looking like nature is made with fabric. And if you look at the collection, you see, nature design, kind of like roots, flowers, leaves, and the 8 years of trees, which is like coming back into the knits. And here we can have a little look at the collection. And thanks TikTok for making these videos to have like a short video and to see the whole collection at once. um, so what I like to take from this as well is you can really think about using different backgrounds for your photography. So I came across these big tapestries and I thought, oh, that might actually be an interesting project for the future, to use a big tapestry as the background and have that combined with the collection or with the creative shoot that you're going to do. And we're kind of making now a transition from nature to nature inspired. So it's more of like a blueprint from nature, as you see on the right, and very like more detailed fabrics, or even like very glittery fabrics with still nature aspects and elements to them, but a little bit more digitalized, I would say. And also then diving into AI design, because here on the right you can see a beautiful design made by Anna Quick. I'll probably say this wrong, but this is an AI mushroom generated installation. And I see on in the comments on Instagram like, oh, is this real? Where is this? We want to see this. But if you think about it, it could be possible. On the left, you see a lovely design from Joanna Martin, also with like all these layers of mushroom. Here is another one from Anna on the left, and then again Joanna Martin on the right, as if you're like looking up the skirt of a mushroom. And then there was a collaboration with Coach and Lil Nas. Lil Nas is a rapper, and it's really about this video was really about like his whole career and breaking down doors, and really about all the things that he overcame. So, and also about walking into the new chapters of life. And I really get this Y2K AI generated feeling from this very sparkle images.
Right now.
Yeah, it's happening. And then there's also a beautiful collection, beautiful two pieces actually made by Jing Gao, which I will get back to. But also, if you look on the right with Naomi Gillen with her bag, it's becoming a little bit more, yeah, your own fantasy AI. It could have been AI made, but then this is actually made for real. Also, the one if you look at on the right, on the left, I mean, here you see like a little video of like these clothes just like moving, and it's really inspired for her about as if it was AI, but then made in real life. And if you look on the left, there's a new collection from Loewe, and they really also have like this movement in their clothes. So it's a white dress where actually a print of another garment is made and then distorted. So it could have been maybe printed on or something like that. And if you look on the right, you have a really lovely blazer dress from David Laporte, where it's also very much about movement. You can imagine if she's walking down the runway, that everything is moving and twirling around. And then if you look at a way to present yourself online, on the left is a project from Dark Iglo, and it was for Paperboy Prince. And it was called Elsewhere Sound Space. So it was this nice image with and the circle was a more of like a moving image. So you really have like these GIFs coming back as well.
Yeah.
And even if you're thinking, okay, we can also just make things now in AI and have them generated there. And Alex Valentina is really playing with a lot of like prints and artworks this way. And there's also a tea brand called Nara. And I really like how they also used, it feels a bit like old fashioned, but then still new way of making like AI or like, I'm not sure if it's AI. I guess it's just
Animated, right?
animated. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But with those different colors and shapes really fitting into this story.
Mhm.
And if you think about that photography, you could maybe look at it in a different perspective. So you really have like more a below perspective, which is of course kind of weird and strange. So therefore making it a bit more, so if it feels like it's generated, but it's still a photo. And another really beautiful example, Abo, which is a fragrance brand. Really getting this idea as if you're in this fantasy landscape with a fantasy landscape, fragrance. And then, to have a little bit of a tip of the iceberg from AI. Recently was the first AI Fashion Week in New York. And someone here on TikTok can tell us more about it.
You're not going to believe some of these looks from the first ever AI Fashion Week. Like, what? This was actually not a normal fashion week and instead a competition. The judges panel included Pat McGrath, the CEO of Revolve, and fashion elites from places like Vogue and Celine. Anyone in the world could enter, and the only criteria was to use AI tools in the design process. Hundreds of people entered with the hopes of winning a collaboration and investment from Revolve. After community voting, 10 people made it to second rounds, which will happen in May. Let me know your thoughts on AI Fashion Week and who you hope will win. Honestly, I'd want to win a Revolve Fest ticket, but that's neither here nor there. Anyways, thanks for watching and follow me for more tips on men's style, emerging brands, and how tech is changing fashion. Peace.
So, such an interesting new thing, of course, AI. And for a lot of people, it's also very scary. But in the end, it's also so interesting to see what you can create with it. So here are a few of those, like the last 10 people that were selected for their collections. They also really asked the designers to also think about all the things that are going on around this fashion show. So if you look here at this one, you also see the behind the scenes photos of the models that are waiting to go on stage, or even having the details of the shoes and the bags and things like that. It's really like this wide pool with like so many possibilities For example, Montclair with a AI collection, or if you're looking here, what would a Baroque or Victorian shoe look like from Nike or Adidas? Or maybe a Nike and Jacques Mus collaboration. So there's so many possibilities, but we would all still have to make content as well. Otherwise, we won't be able to feed AI. So what would it look like if you make something yourself? Think about different perspectives. Think about reflection. Think about filters to recreate this for yourself as well. And with a final note, I would like to say that AI is merely a tool, and if you use it the right way, then you can really get achievements from it. But you shouldn't see things like this as a threat or something like that, because we would all still need to have like a creative eye and bring stuff ourselves to the table. So yes, thank you for listening. This was the Elevated Volume 2, and hope to see you again for Volume 3.
Thank you. Great. Thanks, Laurence. Amazing. Cool. Yeah, everyone, thanks so much for your time. If you have any questions, then please feel free to send them in the chat. Again, just a reminder, you will receive the recording of the session in your inbox later on. And we will also send you like a feedback questionnaire so we can make Elevated even better. We will come up with a new version of Elevated as well, like Elevated Volume 3 soon. Stay tuned for that. I don't see any questions. I'm not sure if anything's still coming in. Let's wait a little bit.
It's a lot of information.
Information. I think there was like a lot of nice balmy visuals in there, a lot of inspiration, a lot of cool things that can influence you in store design, in e-commerce, in content creation, just in general social media, your appearance on social media, and of course like really nicely put together with AI and like the influence on that, which is of course now like a really big topic. But I really like your words, Laurence, in the end as well, that of course our content and our content creation will still be there, and we have to like collaborate. It's merely a tool in our content creation toolbox.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, like I don't see any questions coming in. Then I want to thank everyone, and I hope you all have a lovely day. Great.
Thank you.